Hey guys.
Hello.
Yeah, what's the protest about?
Well, currently, we're on the same side. People have immediately been seeing this and being like, "So you dislike Charlie Kirk?" And no, I think Charlie Kirk was a hero. I think he stood for many valuable things. But I think his death, Donald Trump is using it to censor the freedom of speech for a lot of people. He's using it to rule Antifa as a domestic terrorist agency, which it could be. There's only like one chap.
Let me hold it there. So what's the definition of domestic terror?
There isn't one. Which
you
is
sure?
why it's really
You give me what you think it should be.
Domestic. Well, there is no like. So we were able to torture the people in Iraq because we claimed they were terrorists, and terrorists don't get
that was a limited torture program that was ruled unconstitutional.
Yeah.
And people went to jail for it. It's called Abu Ghraib.
Yeah.
So no, we are not able to just torture terrorists.
Well,
That's
but
illegal.
that was the reasoning.
Well, hold on, let So is terrorism? Let me just give you a definition because this might be helpful to let us progress a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I think what you're bringing up is really important.
Yeah.
So is domestic terrorism the use of violence to achieve a political end? Because that's typically what terrorism has been defined in the past.
Yeah.
And that would just be the domestic variety of that. So say, for example, I got with a bunch of my friends and I put on a black mask and I brought like equipment at an event and I beat people up in order to intimidate them. In fact, I said, I'm going to punch a Nazi. That's the moral thing to do.
Yeah.
Would that be the use of violence to intimidate and change politics?
You know, I think it would be, but the issue is it's not organized. There isn't a thing. It's just a group of people, so it shouldn't be treated with military response through the National Guard. It should be a police issue.
Yeah, so if a group of people show outside of a government office building and start throwing Molotov cocktails of it, are they organized? How do you know they're not organized?
That was one guy. That was one guy. I know what situation you're talking. You're talking about the guy who brought a flamethrower and like brought.
No. I'm just giving you any example. You can use any range of violence there. If they just throw rocks at it, whatever.
Here's the other.
If they all do it together, are they organized?
The other thing I have to say is algorithms, computer algorithms, phones, Instagram, Facebook, all of that is It's tracking and it's paying attention to what you interact with the most, what you engage with the most.
For sure.
And so I'm kind of more of a left-wing person. So my algorithm is all like kind of right-wing people going crazy at protests, throwing punches, beating up the left for no reason.
Or police officers hitting protesters doing it.
Well, did you see in the LA protests the guy who got like beat down by the horse cops and they were trying to step on him with the horse?
Sure, that's really scary.
That's the issue.
So I can understand that, and I can actually get on board with like we got to be very careful about the just use of force in any given situation, especially with someone who's given power by the state to do so, right?
Yeah.
That said, if a group of people who are organized formally or informally, we don't know to what degree they're formalized formally or informally until there's investigation, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, Al-Qaeda, before they attacked us on 9/11, before we went to Afghanistan, was a disorganized group of scattered cells all over the world, bouncing around doing radical Islam stuff, right?
Yeah.
So we were trying to infiltrate Al-Qaeda, right, and do all kinds of surveillance on them, all that kind of stuff, in order to prosecute them, right? Yeah. So we don't know what it is until we're actually looking at that. And you got to see from the right-wing perspective, when we see a year, the year 2020, an entire year of riots in our cities and riots outside of ICE facilities, as we see right now in Portland, people are saying, well, how are people doing this all day? How has this happened on its own?
Political violence within the U.S., have you looked at the statistics of it recently? This might be the first year that Democrats actually beat out Republicans in violent political incidents.
Okay.
Which is kind of straight. Like, I was looking at that, and like normally it's like 30 something.
Are you referring to the Cato study? Is that what you're referring to?
I believe so. So. It's been a minute since I last looked at it. But I was doing.
And this is a really important thing to think about when you think about statistics.
Yeah.
Any large single event can overweigh something. Yeah. So one of the reasons why that works the way it does, that they get the result that they do, is a couple things. One, it drastically underweighs the violence that happened in 2020. property
no,
damage.
that's year by year by year.
Hold on,
that goes all the way back.
So if you look at the graph and it shows 2020 is low, that's not right. When you chart that all the way back to 1975, prior to the weather underground, and then second to that, not including property damage, and then also when you have Oklahoma City weighing almost all of the right-wing violence over that period, it doesn't play out the same way. And additionally to that, anytime someone
do you have
what do you consider right wing? Yeah, you know that I'm giving you a criticism of the Cato study because I've read it and I've looked at it.
Okay.
So here's a criticism: is someone who's religious automatically right wing?
No.
Can someone be pro-life and be a Democrat or be left wing?
Yeah.
If you chart every single murder of an abortion doctor as automatically right wing, you get the study that you're talking about. The challenge is every nihilist left wing?
Wait, what? No, because
now I wouldn't suggest, for example, that someone who shut up a school because they're a nihilist is necessarily right wing, left wing, right? Even though left wingism is highly associated with nihilism, just like religion is highly associated with right wing.
What was that left wing shooter who shot up the ICE facility and only killed detainees?
Yes.
Like you are a laughing stock among the right and the left.
Oh, he's a terrible human being.
He wrote on his bullets?
Yeah.
On his bullets he said anti-ICE, like literally just anti-ICE. He's a loser.
Right. So my whole point being, like, if you're pointing to this as like there's a trend and Democrats are only just now fighting back against the right wing that's violent.
The Democrats in politics right now are shit.
Okay, so the left wing then. Did you not say that the right has always been violent, the left is only just now becoming violent?
I did not say that.
I didn't.
Didn't you not say that?
No,
I did not say that.
Am I wrong on that?
I said if you look at
Maybe I misunderstood you.
No,
I could have misunderstood.
I don't think you're debating in good faith. Because you guys are talking over each other. I think we need to have a little bit slower conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm just trying to keep up.
And you're saying, he's putting words in mouth. Like, I'm not liking the sounds.
I really thought that's what you said.
No,
but my bad.
I did earlier say that more political violence. Like,
it's coming from the right wing.
Let me Google where I got this thing from because I will pull this up.
Yeah, that's the Cato study. You're referring to the Cato study.
You're saying more from the right side than the left. Until
this year.
That's saying it's become more.
Yeah, so this is the first year that the left has committed more political violence.
But you got to control against Oklahoma City, and you got to control against 9/11, and you got to say anytime that someone is a religious person, are they right wing? And that's not necessarily true. You have to have motive to change policy. And if you look at someone who writes on catch fascist, that's someone who's doing it for policy to intimidate.
No,
if you say punch a Nazi,
my data was from the Center for Strategic, the CSIS.
CSIS. Okay, well, I haven't seen that one.
So,
I'm referring to the Cato study. But I would look at that and I would ask, does it control for Oklahoma City? Does it just associate anyone who's religious and anti-abortion? Anytime an abortion doctor dies, is that a right-wing violence meant for political change?
Do you know what fascism stands for? Like what fascism?
Yes, I'm very familiar with fascism. Yeah.
So what's your definition of fascism? Let's make sure we have.
Fascism is the unity of the state with corporations in order to provide a singular, unitary direction for society, purpose and meaning given to the people using the state. That's what fascism is.
Definition of fascism.
Yeah, that's Mussolini's definition. That's what I'm going with.
That's Mussolini's definition?
Yeah, it's the unity of the corporation and the state. I was a political philosophy major at Montana State University in 2011. That's when I graduated.
Okay.
All right. So,
see, this is exactly like, dude. I like being wrong. Like,
what do you think fascism is?
To me, fascism, or at least my definition of what I've had it as, is national and like taking national pride, and then very authoritarian within the government. So you're super like prideful of being America first. We're going to do whatever America needs, and we're also going to just listen to whatever the government says without really questioning.
Okay. So let me start on where I agree with you. I 100% agree. What you're touching onto is an aesthetic, but it's not the philosophy. And if you want to look at the philosophy, that's going to tell you a very different story. Now, if what you say, what's the difference between nationalism and patriotism?
That's a good question.
Ooh, that is a really good question. I'd say nationalism goes like a little bit beyond it. Like patriotism ends at the ability to be like, yeah, that was wrong of the government.
Okay.
That wasn't the right call.
Okay. Do you think that the MAGA movement believes the government does things wrong sometimes?
I believe some people do, but I know some people in the MAGA movement that have literally backbent like every muscle. Like they believed that Trump was in that sort of stuff, and then like
well, people do latch onto leaders, and they want their leaders to be good. And sometimes when we deal with the imperfection of our leaders, what we do is we idealize, we turn them into something they're not.
Yeah.
Like for example, was Biden like had all of his mental faculties the last 2 years of his presidency?
No, dude.
Did a lot of people delude themselves into believing that he in fact did? He's as sharp as a tack. That's what the mainstream press told me.
I would
He's
say
as sharp as he's ever been.
Being applied for Trump right now.
Yeah.
Well, my point being
people
that
are.
what people, I'm not trying, some of them might have lied, but some of them might have just wanted it to be true, right? And so what I'm saying is like, when you say that the nationalism just assumes that government's always right, I don't think that's exactly fair from these people's point of view. What they're saying is they want an embodiment of something that they think is valuable, which is an America that cares about Americans.
Yes.
That does prioritize our country in our country's interest,
Yes.
whether that be foreign policy or domestic policy, whether that's immigration or what we're doing when it comes to our economy.
Yeah.
Are we prioritizing Americans?
Okay.
If that's what nationalism, would that be a nationalism you could embrace?
I kind of feel like it, but also at the same time, like
I think we're getting a little caught up.
corporatocracy is the other shit that this guy's kind of polluting.
Semantics is the core of
I know.
philosophy. It's
No, that
everything in
is-
philosophy. It's
that
what
is-
do words mean?
I've been-
Words are our means to meaning. It's our way of connecting with each other and with truth. If we just say, well, I don't know what the definition is, then just use my definition for a moment.
Every word was just
and
fine.
and just entertain it. And if you entertain it for just a moment, you think, okay, there is a nationalism I can get on board with. And then we can refine what you don't like. Now, if you don't like corporatism, I'm totally on board.
Yeah.
In fact, most people on the right would say, I'm pro-free markets. Don't tread on me. I don't want the government telling me what to do with my business, with my life, with my income.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, do you agree?
Yeah, no, we agree on like a lot of things from the left and the right.
Okay.
But, like, I don't know. Some things, I don't know. I feel like, I think at the moment we know Trump has done a few bad things, but we're like, well, it's America first, and it's
Sure.
going to be good for America.
Yeah.
And we're kind of being a little bit selfish and individualistic in that, in like,
Sure.
America needs to be the best right now.
I think you'll
but
find that-
America at its heart, at least to me, is hope and freedom and like passion for a better day.
100%, yeah.
And we gotta hold all of these guys accountable.
100%. So
Western values.
I think you'll find that within the right wing, I know you said you were left wing before, that within the right wing there's a tremendous amount of diversity of thought that would embrace exactly what you're saying, that criticizes Trump all the time on many things.
We've been here all since 6 when it started, and we've had so many like really cool conversations.
That's great, man.
with
That's
people.
great.
I mean, the
But,
biggest
like,
part is
Well, have fun, guys. Yeah,
That's
really.
the thing
no
right now.
politician
Thanks
will
for
save you.
chatting with me.
To remember
My name's
that
David.
politics
David Ray.
are not
Nice
your
to meet you.
friend.